do a type of video that I haven't done in such a very long time, and that is a booktuber shout out video. I started going through my subscription feed and I ended up finding a nice round number of 10 booktubers that I think you all should be subscribed to. The first one is Merel at a Blackbirds Books, and I know I'm saying that like such an American, Merel, but I don't really know how to say it as beautifully as she does say her own name. So she's just a lovely, lovely booktuber who reads a real variety, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of literary fiction, some nonfiction. She just has a really neat mixture, but she's just has such a calming presence, and I find her videos so inviting. She's been doing some vlogs lately, and I just love getting to follow her around and see a little bit of her life. And she's just a very inviting personality, and it's a very just pleasant and cozy channel. So I highly recommend you all go subscribe to Merel. Next is Kelly at the Books I'm Not Reading. Kelly and I have both recently found one another's channels and both kind of thought that we seemed very much like bookish kindred spirits upon finding one another's channels. We were also very excited to find out that the others liked the Betsy Tacy series. So I thought it was very neat because Kelly was kind of wondering if there was anyone out there who read the series as a child and then enjoyed it as an adult. And so that is the case for me. I loved them as a kid and I love them now. But they're kind of a really people would say they're outdated, but I call them classic series about Betsy growing up in a small town and with her friend Tacy and Tib. So it's just a lovely series. So I kind of have the philosophy that any friend of Betsy, Tacy, and Tib is a friend of mine. Kelly reads a really cool mixture. She loves mysteries, which made me very excited. And she reads some nonfiction and classics, literary fiction, just a really neat mixture. And she does these amazing, well thought out, in-depth reviews. She did a couple of video series on the Scarlet Letter, which is not talked about a lot on Booktube, and just I think is very intentional and thoughtful with her books. She's just a very thoughtful booktuber, and I think you should definitely check out her channel. Next on the list is Brian at Brian's Bookshelves. Brian has just started a project in which I'm very excited for, and it is I think he's calling it the Agatha Christie Alphabetical Project, or this is so bad. Sorry, Brian, if you're watching. I can't remember the name of it, but basically he is reading through all of Agatha Christie's works in order of going alphabetically through the titles. So right now he's in the A's, and I'm really looking forward to seeing each video come out slowly but surely, you know, as the year goes by. And it's just a really neat way to read through Agatha Christie. But he does read a lot of crime fiction, which I'm very just happy to find other booktubers who do that. And he also is involved in the theater. So you get some really unique videos in that aspect. So I definitely recommend you all go subscribe to Brian. And fourthly on the list is Charlie at Charles Heathcote. Charlie is actually a published author, which is very neat to see a booktuber that is a published author. But he has such a friendly and conversational style in his videos. He does a wool gathering series, and he's just talking in his car, giving thoughts on, you know, something that recently he was pondering, or telling a story of something that happened. And it's just a really neat style for a channel, and it really stands out. But he also does book reviews and is also a Victorian literature lover. And I'm just really enjoying his channel, and I think you all will as well. Next on the list is Natalie at A Curious Reader. I adore Natalie and her channel, and I can't, she has the most pleasant voice. It's just so relaxing. I love her videos because I love the content, but she just has the prettiest voice. And I've told my husband several times, like, do you hear her voice? It's so pretty. I love her voice. So Natalie is also a Swedish booktuber, which is really neat to have, you know, diversity on Booktube. And she reads a real variety. She reads some nonfiction. She also likes Victorian literature, and she's participating in Cloak and Dagger Christmas. So she does like mysteries here and there, and also literary fiction. One of the main things too that she does really great reviews on is nature writing. So if you're looking for some really interesting nature writing out there, Natalie is a really great channel to go to. Next on the list is Elaine at Elaine Howlin. Elaine is a channel that I found this year from Booktuber, and she has such, she puts so much effort into her videos. They are just a work of art. They're just so visually appealing and they look so bookish. Yeah, I just love them so much. They look very professional. And Elaine is doing Vlogmas this year. And I think I'm just so excited she's doing Vlogmas. We've been messaging back and forth on Instagram about that. And she has just a lovely channel that is, I think, newer. And you should all go subscribe. Next on the list is Claudia at A Spinster's Library. Claudia has the most fun personality. I think she just seems so dynamic and is able to just crack jokes in her videos, which a lot of times I know myself, I don't always feel relaxed enough to do that. And she just has very funny videos, lots of variety. During Booktuber, she did a great video on how to do your hair like a Victorian lady, or maybe it was specifically a Victorian governess. And then she also did a video on, oh, I can't remember the name of it, but there is a really iconic German children's book that's supposed to kind of teach children how to be obedient. And she did a really great video on that, kind of poking fun at it, but still being kind of fond of the book, because, you know, books that you grew up with in your childhood. So yes, Claudia has a really nice variety of discussions and book reviews, all sorts of great things on her channel. Next is Charlotte at Tired Mama Tries to Read, which, first of all, one of the best channel names out there, and it just is like such a reader problem, you know, being a tired mama and trying to read. Charlotte reads a fair amount of different stuff from what I do, but I think that should just show you how much I enjoy her videos, because, you know, sometimes if you just aren't reading the same things as other booktubers, sometimes you just aren't as interested in their videos. But I really enjoy Charlotte's style in her videos, and she just is lovely. And she does read a fair amount of literary fiction and nonfiction. She did participate in Booktuber, and it's kind of spurred, I think Booktuber spurred us both on to be reading Victorian literature more regularly, and I definitely recommend that you subscribe to her channel. The next to last is Dallas at Tundra Blue. Dallas is an Australian booktuber, and I think I found her channel through Booktuber. I think that's how I found it. But she also reads mysteries, and she is a Mary Stuart fan and is currently kind of rereading some of her old Mary Stuart favorites. So it's neat to hear from someone who has read them and is going through them and rereading them. Yeah, so I definitely recommend Dallas's channel. Lastly, I want to recommend Andreea at Infinite Text. The first time I spoke about her, I think I said Andrea, which is like very American sounding, but I think it's more said Andrea. So I do hope I said it right this time. And she has a really interesting style in that she does lots of discussions. She does do wrap-ups and things like that, but she really takes time to make interesting content, and just not like every other video you see on BookTube. She has some really interesting videos that just are really mentally stimulating, and like I say, make me want to learn more and learn about, you know, all sorts of things. And yeah, just a really thought-provoking lot of videos that I've seen on her channel. So these are some of the lovely booktubers that, since I've last done a booktuber shout out, I have found. Obviously there are tons of booktubers that I watch, but these are just the ones that I thought, you know, I would really love it if they got more subscribers. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be back tomorrow for another video. Bye.